Hello and welcome back. We are on episode 176 of our Oxygen Not Included All Achievement Run. I want to start off by saying I'm sorry. A lot of things have gotten away from me, including this. Real life is really kicking me in the butt here a little bit, so it's kind of a portion of the reason why I haven't been able to post as much more recently. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over some of the things that I have accomplished since the last episode. First, we're going to go over what our game plan is on the main asteroid. So as of right now, we have made some adjustments on a lot of the cooling mechanisms, starting with the volcano tamer. We have changed it directly from the polluted water to the supercoolant. We have plenty of supercoolant to provide across all these different types of systems. So as we move forward, we're going to constantly upgrade the different systems that we have into place using that said supercoolant, right? Other things that are going to happen, we're going to make some adjustments to the steam vent coolers. These are not really doing too much for us right now, so I think that we are going to make some adjustments to make it work better for the future. If we look over here, everything seems to be pretty similar. We are going to probably make a bigger slickster I want to say farm. We'll have a bunch of more of them so that way we can take care of the carbon dioxide, because they really do a number on the carbon dioxide. So we're going to try and have those set down here at the bottom. We're going to create a couple of farms and add them down there, utilizing some of the heat coming from the magma and then also some of the heat coming from the petroleum over here in our petroleum boiler. So this might get adjusted as well, so we can tame this minor volcano. We have a little bit of a limited space, so we may just change this and kind of cut this off a little bit, add a second pump, maybe something along those lines in the not so distant future. But that's kind of what we're looking at, so we can use the space that we have here and just allow us to continue to thrive, especially with not having a lot of space underneath the volcano. So that was my problem, my issue, trying to create something cool, and then we decided to just not have it placed in the right location. So anyways, moving on, we did end up changing this system here with all of the supercoolant again. So we are upgrading our cooling areas, and if you're not careful, this is what ended up happening. All of this warm area turned into a super duper cold area. So you can see it's -9 degrees, -8.6, and these petroleum generators are going without any hiccups at all on the temperature. So that looks pretty good. We're doing really well in that regard. And yeah, so we are slowly making our base a little bit more self-sufficient and not reliant upon other asteroids. One of the main things that I would like to create is a way to deal with polluted water and heat it up and then cool it down again. So that way we can get rid of the polluted water and turn it into regular water that would allow us to not have to use a filtration medium. So that is on the horizon of something that we are going to try and get through, I think, after we accomplish our achievement progress that we have. So if we go up to the top here, we have capped off all of this with some plastic. We're shielding the duplicants from radiation, so there's no issues. We are going to end up moving the base. We're going to actually start by adding the farms and everything else. We're going to make it so the farmers and the different critters are going to be up here, and then our different bedrooms are going to be along the lines here, so they can just jump up and down inside the transit tube for wherever they need to go. And then the next thing is to fix the way that we have these transformers. I don't like how we have them kind of spread out here and here and then down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make adjustments and allow us to have it in the right location so it looks better, looks fancier, and so on and so forth. So that's just something that we're going to look into, and pretty soon here we are going to adjust some of these. I'm not sure why we have some hydrogen inside the tunnel here, or the gas pipe, but yeah, that happens sometimes, and they'll just have to fix those. But over here is pretty much the same. We haven't made any adjustments to the SPOM. It's been that way for a while. We're not making too many crazy adjustments over here because we have our rockets hanging out at the top, and then we are still sending things to the other asteroids. Right now we are sending water to Brr'ato, specifically because we don't have a consistent way of melting it on that asteroid right now. So let's move on to our second asteroid that's attached to our Terra asteroid. We've made a few different adjustments, starting with the meteor blaster. We have one here and one here. We are trying to keep oh, is there a couple? No, there's one row in the middle that's kind of missing, but I think it'll be okay. Most of the meteors will come at an angle. They're not going to come straight down, hopefully. If they do, we can just move this over one, and that'll stop it from having any issues. But we've added some solar panels because of how much power they can generate. There's quite a bit of lumens on this asteroid, so meteor blasting the stuff out of the way so that way it keeps clear for the extra power is pretty essential, I would say. So that's kind of why we're doing that, along with having the payload opener so we can send any of the materials that we have from here to here from the other asteroids that are not attached to it. We're sending the blast shot from our Lushani radioactive asteroid here because of all the gold that we have over there. So we needed to have a setup that auto delivers that, and that's why we've got our beacon and our two different space scanner and meteor blaster over here. So we'll need some glass. We're working on that. We have a section over here that we are going to work into, and that's going to settle down all of the glass production for the specific asteroid. Some of the other things that we have done over here is we have shortened the amount of space area that was being utilized for the polluted water that's getting dripped down from the natural gas geyser and the petroleum generators. We've added a number of things down at the bottom. All of our oil wells are now sectioned off, and we are providing the natural gas directly to all of these. We could probably end up reducing the footprint that these take up, but I will say this has been super beneficial to have it this way, keeping all of the temperature mostly in check here instead of all around the entire different areas of the lower half has been pretty neat to see. And then at the bottom here, this is where all of that oil is dripping down to. So we're just siphoning out this oil all the way over here at this side of the bottom of the asteroid. So we're sending that up directly into the petroleum generator here, and then we're sending the rest of it to our boiler on the main asteroid. So speaking of which, if you see all of the pipes, we have completely revamped the piping network that we have on this. Before, it was a hot mess. It was definitely difficult to understand what was going on and how things were getting there. So now, as we look at it, we're starting to work on creating the rest of the piping system to keep this area cool, and we're going to remove the polluted water air from this section. We're gonna just cut this off here and here, and then we're gonna let the polluted water just kind of fizzle out, and we're going to take back space from one of these steam turbine and aqua tuner setups. So that way we have these two down here rolling for the duration of the playthrough. So that is what our plan is for that. We're slowly making progress here with those different things that need to be moved out. We're going to be pumping out all this extra gas, and then when that's done, we will put in more water and then allow this to be opened up so that way we can have these steam turbines utilize both sections. There's a lot of steam in here. It looks like there's 600 and 800 and 1,000. That's way too much. For these to be more efficient, we want closer to 150 kilograms. And yeah, we need to adjust that quite a bit. So that's something that we're going to be working on here shortly. So there's that we have been working on the second asteroid. Brr'ato, our asteroid with the temporal tear opener. As you can see, we've made a decent amount of progress on here. We've got our rocket, we have our rocket location, we have a iron tamer, and I haven't fully put this in the swing yet because this is disabled by the automation that we have on the thermo sensor, and we're just waiting for the iron volcano to start up again, and then we can probably use the rest of this refined metal either here, or we can send it to the other locations to be refined into steel. If we scroll down to the bottom here, we do have 1, 2, and 3 more iron volcanoes that we could tame if we wanted to, but I have not decided whether we are going to do that because this entire section down here is going to be taken up by our research reactor that we need, which is pretty large, right? So we're gonna need some drastically high amount of space in order to keep that nice and cold, especially if we want to get the achievement for that. So this is what we have going on. We've got a mini spam going. We have a bathroom going both ways. We have water coming in from the other asteroids since we don't have a way of warming it up just yet. Here's our temperature. All this is from the rocket that landed and was sent back. And then we do have some extra power coming from the solar panel, and we have a coal generator, and then we have a, you couldn't see it for a second there since we just loaded up the save, but we do have some coal inside the storage bin here, and then we have a bunch of hydrogen sitting and waiting for us to be utilized on the generator. So we have plenty of stuff going on this asteroid. If we look at Wadiel, our robot has gone through and created 3 tiles across. They are set and ready. I think that something that we're going to need to look into is creating all of them here on the outside, because when this opens up, this oxygen is going to super duper quickly evaporate into the atmosphere and provide us with oxygen all the way across. So we need to be very careful about this, and we'll send a robot here to finish up this last section of the wall segment that we haven't completed just yet. So that is where this asteroid's at. The main goal here, get the graphite and get the different artifacts so we can get that last achievement. So if we look at that, we'll need definitely to grab as much as that as possible. So we'll need a digger of some kind, and we'll land that rocket probably somewhere around here, as long as it's tall enough. It is. It's 43 tiles tall, so we could totally land the rocket over here, and then allow for the water to just evaporate and then go back to its liquid state. So that's that. Let's take a look at Lushani. The last time I was here, I was messing with the settings we have on the gold tamer, the cold volcano tamer, and some of that is just the timer. We have it set a little bit more than just like 1 or 2 seconds. It's up to 25 out of 150. That way all of it can sit inside of the steam room, and it all gets cooled off and then sent up here into this section. I want to show the conveyors, right? So the only thing that I did not place correctly here is I forgot to put in the bridge. There's a bridge that you should put in, so that way whatever is on the loop continues to loop if it doesn't go into the shutoff. So that's just kind of something that I should have done once this gold volcano goes dormant. the next time, then I will go in on the side here next to the liquid lock, and then I will make that adjustment in the future here. So we have made a few other adjustments, and that is going to be, we've got our blast shot maker over here. We are making some diamond, and on this I have not fully configured the setup over here yet because we don't have enough power, and I don't want to put that in and then us continually run out of power. Not yet, not until we have some more solar panels and maybe some other things that are going to generate the power required to keep all this lined up. So we might have a separate process for that. We tamed all this water tamer, and we have a hydro sensor tied to the mechanized airlock. So just like our beginning asteroid, all of this will sit here and it will overpressure this entirely. We may end up going in here and making it a bigger reservoir. That way all this can keep going as far as we want it to, but as of right now we haven't fully committed to creating the reservoir yet. But that is on the horizon, something else that we can look into. We've almost satisfied the requirements to get our duplicate that's from the crate, or not crate, the shipping container. We need to send pepper bread and tofu their way, but we have not sent that to this asteroid since we've had some food issues trying to keep things going, and that's partly due to the pressure that we were having, and then a bunch of carbon dioxide issues. So we dug out a bunch of area to give us more room on the oxygen, added a gas pump so we could pump out any extra carbon dioxide, and so on and so forth. So the other two things that we are going to look at are on Siftola. There are two artifacts here that we are going to grab. I can see the pedestal, one here and one here. So we will eventually be sending a duplicate here just to grab those and then come back home. So that's on the way, something that we're going to be working on shortly. And then if we look at our last asteroid, there is artifacts here and here. Those are the last two that we are missing. So eventually we will also make our way to this one just to grab those and then come home once again. So that is essentially where we have left off. What I've been constantly working on is trying to get Brr'ato on the path so we can get the temporal tear opener going. Haven't had any sort of radiation set on here yet, but we are going to work on that in a little while. But there is that. So some of the other things that I would like to mention is I will be starting on our series that we are working on with the Frosty and Bionic Duplicate DLC. We are going to start doing that probably in more live streams. I would rather do the live streams with that one so everybody can kind of do that one together, and I do miss playing the new content, so that's something that I would like to get back into, since I've had quite a number of other things come up in the real life that's made things a little bit difficult to keep up with. So I don't think that I have mentioned it before, but I am a dad gamer, so children do take priority, and I just wanted to point that out. And that's, if anybody had any questions as to why it's been difficult, that has been the reason. So other than that, I think we are good to go. We are going to continue with our journey right now, and my main concern is trying to figure out what we're gonna do on Lushani. We really need to figure out this food situation. I mean, we have mealwood, but the problem with mealwood is it requires a lot of duplicate work, and I think making this entire area more, I guess the better term would be to keep it more sustainable. I guess that would be a better way to put it. It's just the radiation pockets make it difficult, right? So I was thinking about getting rid of some of these things and giving us more room. I've never removed one of these wrecked satellites, so I don't know if doing that is a good or a bad idea and those kinds of things. So let's start this off by getting this area all situated once again. I want to get all the beds over here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, how big is this room? Let's look. It is 34 tiles and 34 tiles, right? So they don't have to be the same. It only needs to be 24 tiles minimum, but what we're gonna do is make it the same size, just one section underneath it. So it'll be 32 tiles across. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this will give us access directly down underneath. Now let's get rid of those. Same thing here, we're gonna move this other bedroom over. The misalignment bothers me too, so we're gonna make some better adjustments here. Oh, the auto bottler is empty. So what we need to do is go all the way across. And then we're going to deconstruct this one. That was the remaining water from the pool that we had before. So we're going to just make some decent adjustments. All right, so we have a door here. Let's do that. And we'll have another door here, and then it'll be nice and easy. Perfect. All right, while they're working on that, no, we don't want to go there. We want to go to Brr'ato. I think it is a little crazy. Like, everything is kind of squished, but I don't think that there's any other way to do this to make it more efficient. We tied into a lot of the stuff that's already been there. Something that's been baffling me is we don't have enough of a fancy decor item to make this a great hall, which has been frustrating. I want to say very frustrating. So we have a mess hall, just not a great hall. So I think the next time we send a rocket here, we're going to grab an artist and then some reed fiber, and we'll put some other good things in this room for them to make good adjustments on there. So we'll make like we'll put other furniture in here. Let's see, minorly, moderately, and majorly. Yeah, we'll just leave that alone for now. But yeah, we're gonna send a rocket here, pick up Ren. Since we're not doing too much, we just wanted to get this one started so that way we are ready to go when we need to put our research reactor over here. Let's go over here, see how our progress is going on all this. Unreachable build. Okay, so we need to make it so they can reach all this. There we go, and that'll be easier for them to reach across to grab all those. And we need 1, 2. And we have, of course, some cosmetic blueprints. We can never miss this. This is always fun. Although I think we have that. I'm not going to go into those blueprints. Not right now, at least. Okay, so that looks pretty good. If we look at how the oil wells are set up, these are on the Guides Not Included website if anybody is curious as to how they are put together. I used that one in particular specifically because we have no mods, right? So we are not utilizing mods in any way, shape, or form. So this is the best way that I think I have tried so far to keep things organized. And so far, it's been very easy for each duplicant to get to each area and relieve the pressure. We look at our Atmos sensors. I set them lower. Normally they're set to like 20,000. I set them at 10,000 so that way we can keep a consistent amount of natural gas in these natural gas generators. So that's just how we've set this up. Set it up how you like in your games, but I feel like in our playthrough we needed that juice sooner rather than later, so that's exactly why we did that. All right, so what else are we doing here? We are trying to maintain temperatures. This is all super duper cold. This is pretty warm. Let's actually move some of this over. And I'm going to give us more space I want to provide a good start for where we're going to move all of the different ranches. Which ranches am I worried about? I'm worried about these, right? Because you want to be in the carbon dioxide for all of the slicksters, but you don't want it, and you want it to be warm, so having carbon dioxide up here would require you to pump it up there. So I don't really think that that is going to be the best way to do that. So we're going to keep these down here. I may end up creating a separate area for those ranchers, but we'll see. How warm does it need to be for the grub fruit? 15 to 50. Okay, so they are pretty warm. And fertilization. Do we need more sulfur? I think we do. We have plenty. We do have plenty of sulfur. So let's actually we look at the sulfur here, and we go sweep. I have it set to sweep right now, only because we have so much of it right here. I don't want this always running constantly. I think the real trick here would be to send some automation across the asteroids. Probably a better idea, but we are not going to do that anytime soon. Okay, we want it to go up. We don't want it to go this way. So we'll send a bunch of that over here. If we look at our sulfur, we have 56 tons of it. So we were just waiting on the duplicate to provide it. I guess what I could do is uproot that one and uproot this one, and we could put sulfur here instead, and then allow these to auto deliver it so the duplicates don't have to. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna update some of how this is working, so that way it works better and we don't have to have the duplicates provide that to them. Perfect. Okay. We have a ton of natural gas in here. 55.9 kilograms. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot in here. We probably will need to do something about that eventually. I say eventually, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so you have all of this hydrogen going up here. It's probably not going to work. We need to do that. So we're using it all across the board. Because we were sending it from down here, but most of that is going in this direction. Okay. Something else that I have considered is messing with the sour gas that we were dealing with from the earlier petroleum boiler. We have a bunch of sour gas in here. And if we click on it and we go to its, I want to say dossier, we could cool it down to negative 161.5, which would give us sulfur and liquid methane. So that would be pretty nice. Might be something to look into, just at least with this, to practice it out. Well, where are you all going? You know what we need to do right here? We need to drive a ship. We need to change the shipping here. So what we're gonna do is we are going to do a conveyor shut off. Okay. So conveyor shut off. We're making it out of tungsten. We need a element sensor. We're going to do an automation wire here. Okay, and then we just drop it off right here. This is probably, I think, my favorite tip so far that I have seen. We're gonna put this in the middle. And then this is gonna drop right here, so that way the auto sweeper grabs it and puts it in both of these two sections where there's gonna be plenty of sulfur available. So let's actually do that. Let's turn this to a 9 here, 9 on there. So what we're gonna do is this is going to turn on and off, and the shutoff will have priority. When it sees sulfur, it's gonna drop it right here, because this is the only reason we have sulfur. So we don't need it anywhere else. So that's kind of something that we're trying to do as we make changes to the system and as we make changes to the main base here. We want to gain more efficiencies. We want to get rid of some of these redundancies that we do not need. And one of them is what we're dealing with right now, which is delivering sulfur to the not correct location. So that's why we're making this adjustment here. So, all right, while they do that, let's go take our look at our other asteroid here. So our temperature here is pretty warm. I need to get this situated so we can start up this other section. The issue we are going to run into, though, is we need another one of these. Straight here. And then voila. Power. Let's go. There we go. Yeah, we have a ton of different materials on this asteroid since we have the capability of making it on our own. So it's been pretty nice to allow that to happen. What else are we doing here? So we've got a ton of regolith as our filtration medium. Oh, that's right. So what do we have here? This is 660. Yeah, we need to continue this power over and up, and that'll be plenty. All right, now that that's taken care of, let's look at these, see how, okay, we've got some in there. We have some in here, good. What about the other one? No and no. Okay. I think two of these are already getting ready to lift off. We just haven't sent them out yet. So this is Calypso, which did have food in it. Oh man, look at all that food. Okay, we need... Who's our crew? Hassan, and that's it. Alright. Yeah, you can use that, that's fine. Crew. There we go. Yeah, because we're sending the rover, we're going to go to Wadiel. We're going to grab our rover, send it in there, finish up anything that's remaining, and get it as much closer to completion as we can possibly get it before we send our duplicate over there. We want to get like a bathroom created. If we look right now, you can see our bathroom decided to flood, so that was fun. So we might just destroy some of this, get a bathroom, get a bedroom, quick made, and yeah, I think that is what we're gonna try and do. And I'm pretty concerned about this right here, so hopefully we can get that done without too many issues. All right, so we go back here. Yeah, that looks weird. Okay. Nobody's around. Launch. There we go. That won't take too long. All right, let's go back to here. Where are you going, Gene? Where are you going? No, I think you're gonna be moving back over here so that way we don't get hit by any of this carbon dioxide that's just sitting here. That's exactly what's gonna happen. And we are going to... Now they can go over there with no issues. So, let's see if we can start looking at our other stuff here. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. So we're going to kind of get rid of some of these, get ready for our migration, I'm going to call it, so we can get everybody out of here. I mean, we don't have as many beds anymore. We only have 13 duplicants here, 14 if we include Ren. Soggy feet, well that's not fun. Alright, let's see, what are we doing over here? Let's get some more mining done. That'll probably help out a bit. There's a lot of liquid carbon dioxide down here. That's for sure. Alright. We'll leave that one alone. We are going to send... I don't remember which one are we sending. It was... Okay, the Virgo. We're sending Virgo to mine because we have enough diamond. And then we're also, after that, gonna go... As long as we have enough juice, we're gonna go grab Ren from Brr'ato and grab it and bring Ren back home. So let's do this. Let's go back to here, put in crew, look at the interior, make sure there's a ton of food. There is a ton of food. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 days. Yeah, that should be plenty. I say should. 14 and then 5 more, so 19. So yeah, 19 days should be plenty. So we're gonna do crew, and that's fine. Send the rocket in a moment. Is that our crew member? I believe it is. Yep. All right, let's go back out here and lift off. Once again, 2 rockets in a row. Okay. While that lifts off, what we're gonna do is look at our colony summary, see where we stand on the last remaining achievements. So we have 6 more artifacts to grab. I've already gone over how we are going to do that and in order in which we were going to do that. The Great Escape, we are working on this on the Brr'ato asteroid. We have to power that with a bunch of rad volts. That's going to take some time to do that. So we're going to be working on that consistently. If we scroll down all the way at the bottom here, we have Mind the Gap. And we are making some progress, almost a 1/5 of the way towards that. And, you know, this is just going to take some time before we complete it. And then, of course, run a research reactor at full capacity for 5 cycles. So in order to do that, we are going to need a lot of work on Brr'ato. So that's something that we're going to consistently be working on and off of the episodes because of how long that kind of thing is going to take. We need a lot of lead. Lead is going to stop the radiation from seeping through and turning our duplicants into something we probably don't want them to turn into, then those kinds of things. So that is just where we are at and how we are going to continue. Some other things that we are going to work on the way to those different achievements is the liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. Grab that for our rockets so that way they have a longer... ooh, look at that bug. We have shorter tanks, right? When we create our tanks, it'll be a lot smaller with the different types of engine fuel tanks, right? So those other fuel tanks are a lot smaller, and that's just something that we want to get into pretty quickly, I would say. We had some damage here, and that was only because I was playing with the settings as I was messing with the supercoolant. So now all of this is fine, and we aren't having any issues with it. I think that I may end up changing how this is and turn it all into hydrogen, because the hydrogen can get pretty cold, right? Right now it's -42. I don't think that was enough. I think we was at like -70 before with the ethanol. So that's why we have some damage here. Oh, we ran out of oxygen, did we? Alright, let's take a look at our oxygen. Yeah, we don't have anything coming from the other locations. Although, let's see. Goes down and over, down. Okay, let's just do this. Cut that, and then that will send the extra oxygen from these over there. Perfect. Oh man, damage here. That's not good. What in tarnation did we do? It has to be hydrogen was in there for some reason, but all right, let's go back to Helen and see, did we finish some things? Okay, there's no power yet. All this needs to be made. So let's do that. Let's focus on getting those done. Okay, did we get the wiring up here completed? We did. Good. I think we need to regolith, see how much we have there. Good. Let's start getting rid of these. Okay, why did we do this? I think I know why. I think because the glass forge needs 4 tall in order to drop it where we need it to, so. Okay, let's see. Did they make any of this? They did not yet. Getting close, getting very close, but not there yet. Thimbleweed seed, yes please. We added some of these Brr'ato farms too, so we have plastic coming in, we've got a bunch of these regular reed fiber from the Brr'atos, so we do have them. Pressure. Too much pressure or not enough pressure? Probably not enough is what I would think. Yes, I see. So what we are going to do is, let's change this. We're going to change this to a regular door. Let's see, what is the materials here? Is it carbon dioxide? Is that what the issue is? Oh, it's because of the water. That's why. I see. All right, let's. So what we ended up doing here is we threw these ice temp shift plates only because it was too warm. It was pretty warm. It was closer to 50 earlier. So when they come to wipe this up, that should be fine. Shouldn't have any issues at that point. Okay. Let's move let's look at our. Oh man. Woo! Whoosh. Look at that. That is what we like to see. And we are just getting snow at the moment, so it's not, it wouldn't do too much damage. Look at all this extra blast shot just coming back down. Now, does anybody know, does a blast shot always get consumed? Because it seems like we're getting them back sometimes, which I'm okay with. Look at all that ice. That's awesome because it's normally really hot. As you can see, all of this different material is really hot. We don't like that. We don't like that one bit. All right, let's move on to Luciani. Let's see what we're doing over here. Okay, so that was taken care of. We want to build it's gonna be one off no matter which way we go, isn't it? No, this is good. This is good. We just decided to put this one off for no reason. 1 and 2, and then we want to have, let's see. There we go. We're gonna have just a little bit extra stuff in here. Look at that. The wiring looks a little weird though. We did add a bigger cooling loop. If we look around here, we decided to keep the temperature of the supercoolant pretty close to 0, a little bit warmer than that, only because we don't need a ton of it to stay cold or temperate. It was a little too warm coming from this oxygen over here, so I was thinking of adding a section in here to cool off this oxygen. It is really warm inside of this room. I mean, a little bit warmer than normal, 68, 70. That's all because of this water that comes out of the saltwater geyser. It comes out at 95 degrees. That's really hot, right? So if we wanted to change this, we would have to cool it down a bit further. And I think the best way to do that would be probably going up in temperature and turning it into steam and then dropping off. But I'm just not going to do that on this asteroid. I'm going to focus on that on the main one. But our gold is good. We've got a bunch sitting here. Ups in 2 cycles. Let's go back to Brr'ato. Okay, we need more food. So, hungry. We have a little bit of time left. So what I think we're gonna do is get some of that meat off of that. And then we're also going to send, let's see, can we send food from Lushani? Let's do that. Oh my goodness. Because we have plenty of rad bolts, so that will probably be in our best interest here. Send some of the either the mush bar, pickled meal. Yeah, we don't have a lot of options, but at least it'll keep them fed until we can go get them. Mush bar, here you are. Let's sweep the second one, make that highest priority, send it on its way. Wow, someone was able to carry it all the way up there on their own. Fantastic. Sending the mush bar away. And what are we at? We'll see in a second how much is in here. Okay, so 8 kilograms. So let's do 155. Whoosh. Oh man. All right. Okay, so if we look at our asteroid, or not our asteroids, where are we at here? We're at, we got 1.6 cycles to get there, and then we have, 90 seconds. Okay, that's pretty quick. Now, when we come here, it would probably be a good idea to get all this regolith, but I think it'll be a really difficult task. Lots of light. Oh man, that'd be the easiest one to provide power to. We would also need blast shot though. That's the only issue that I think we would run into. Meat. Yeah, we're down on the calories because we sent so much to the other asteroids. Let's see, I don't think we're still sending any, are we? Let's make sure we're not. No, we are not. Good. That was a little bit of an issue for a while now. But we're putting a bunch of surf and turf in here. I don't think we need any more after these. So let's just turn that off. We have a bunch now, so... Again, something we could probably do with automation. Okay, so... This needs to be... Sulfur. Right? And then... It'll turn this on, and then it'll send it down there. More than likely. So let's see how this works. See if it works with the other stuff. Conveyor meter. Okay, so let's look at our shipping. Stay red, and then it goes on. Alright, let's go over here. Need to go all the way back down. So this sulfur, we're gonna hit sweep. Move faster. And go all the way as quickly as possible. Why is May and everybody stressed out? Soggy feet and popped eardrums. So we have popped eardrums, which we've got some pressure issues. Probably be a good idea to get rid of all of the hydrogen that's sitting here. And any of the water that's down here. See, once we mopped up a bunch of it, the mealwood started growing again. So we have to just do that again. Alright, let's go back here. We should see it momentarily coming through. And if we did this right, which I think we did, sure hope we did, the shutoff should turn on and sends it down. Voila. Grub fruit went through from when we picked it up. And now that sulfur's getting dropped off, what we can do is make this a higher priority. Let's do a storage bin. Let's see, where can we put you? One here. There was another one that we told to uproot. I'm not sure. That was this one. Yeah, we'll change that to this. Because that way all of them have access and they can easily reach. So we'll put sulfur down here. And that was pretty nice to see that it worked. Because the next step is going to be to... What we need to do is not put sulfur here. There we go. Okay, can we dig these up, please? Uproot. Yeah, I'm not sure why they're taking so long. We'll put it at a higher priority and then just leave it like that. But at least some of our automation is working. It's going through and dropping off the sulfur like we needed to. Even if we don't figure out why they're not uprooting these two, then you know what? Here, we'll do this instead. How about that? You don't want to. They don't want to uproot it. That's fine. We'll move on to more advanced forms of getting what we want. Okay, we'll do that. Do that. There we go. So now what we are going to do is put just 2 storage bins, one here, and then we'll put sulfur in them. Again, I'm not going to put any automation here to send a signal anywhere else right now. In the future, probably, but I think that as of right now, this is totally fine. Perfect. Thanks, Gene. Everyone here is the best. Alright, we'll do sulfur. Maximum amount of sulfur. I suppose we could probably do some more of this where we automate different areas and make it easier on our dupes and whatnot. I think that is probably a really good idea. This is a section that I'm probably going to be showcasing in my tips and this new thing that I've learned in regards to using the element sensor. It works on everything. And when I mean everything, I mean it works on plumbing, right? You can do pipes, and then you have your element sensor before you have your shut off, like so. And then you can send polluted water in one direction and then everything else in the opposite direction, right? So this works for all the different liquids, this is a great way to do that. Obviously you need that in here, and you choose the liquid that you want to go through the shutoff. So we applied that theory here to the shutoff with the shipping, which was great. So you can do that in shipping. You can do that with gases. We're using that up here, I believe. Up here? No. I know we're using it on this one. So over here is the same thing. I'll just showcase it next to each other so that way it's easier, right? So we've got that. You could do it with ventilation, right? So you've got a gas shutoff. I hit the wrong button, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Ventilation, gas shutoff, right? So you have whatever gas you want going in, and then continuing onward after that. So it'll have the gas element sensor before that. We need an automation, right? You choose the element you want to go through the gas shutoff. When it's turned on, it will send that first through there as long as it's the right element. Now, the only drawback that I have found to this situation is if wherever the gas is going gets overfilled, if wherever the water is going gets overfilled, you will lose that past the shutoff. If it, say for example, this is going out into the atmosphere, then any hydrogen that you would have wanted to, if this hole was all filled up, the hydrogen would end up going out into space if this was your exit to space. Same thing for water, same thing for shipping, and so on and so forth, right? So, and then we have the shipping version, right? So we've got the element sensor here, and then we've got the automation here, right? And then if it doesn't go through the automation to the shutoff, then it goes past the shutoff to wherever else you want it to go. So this is like one of my favorite newest things that I have learned. I don't remember who I was watching that showed it to us on their stream. I want to say it was GC Fungus, but I watch a couple of people out quite often, so it's not something that you see very often. But doing the element sensor it works on all pipes, works on gas pipes, water pipes, and your conveyor rails. So utilize this if you can, because it saves you on power, right? The power requirement is 10 for each of those, right? Like we look at power 10 for that versus having to do a liquid filter, which is 120, right? So that saves you a bunch of power, especially early on when you have automation. Anyways, enough of that. I just wanted to showcase that because it's one of my favorite new little things that I've been using quite often. Probably too much, but it helps in a lot of difficult situations where you don't have a lot of room, and using a gas filter or a solid filter, not a solid filter, the conveyor filters like this, right? I could totally set up a system that doesn't do what these are. Right, I don't even have, I don't know what I'm putting. Drecklet eggs are in here for some reason. I don't remember. Another thing we'll have to revamp at a later time, right? There's just a lot of stuff to do, and there's always room for improvement, I will say. So, we have no power. Why do we have no power? Because we turned it off. Okay. But we need to... Yeah, this carbon dioxide is getting way too much. We do need to keep those going. Yep. All right. So let's go back to Ugelhelen. I think that's how you say it. I hope it is. Probably not right, but hey, what you gonna do? Sweep that. We have so much sulfur on this, it is ridiculous. We're gonna sweep all 25 tons. We're gonna send a ton of that over there. Literally a ton. 25 to be exact. All right, let's look at a couple other things while we are here. All that looks good. We could probably start mining all of this. I just don't want this to get hit down here, so I'm gonna leave this alone for now. Glass. That's what I forgot to finish up here. All right, let's go glass forge. Put you right here. And then we want a... we have some aluminum here. Okay. We're gonna put aluminum right there. We want a... We're gonna need to move this pipe. Only due to the fact that we're gonna drop off the liquid glass right here, and I want this to be a metal tile. I don't want that to be a regular tile, so we'll do a metal tile, make that out of cobalt. Perfect. Yeah, and we're getting a massage. Nice. Alright, that looks great. Okay. But we are going to call it at that section there, folks. Again, the main thing I wanted to do here is I wanted to create another episode, give everybody an idea of what I'm doing and how we are progressing in our Ani playthrough. I've done a lot of offline because of the amount of things that we have to get through will take quite some time, and I think this is going to be effective in providing the different amounts of changes that are needed. So we will have both a little bit of more playthrough and a little bit of offline play just to keep us progressing without having to do so many different episodes. There's plenty of content for everybody to consume. I just want to make sure that I am providing updates onto the different changes that are being made and the different efficiencies that are being created. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, any of the like, please let me know in the section below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.